Good morning. Good morning. It is Monday. Hello, everybody out there. Well, if you don't know already, this is Barbara Beckley, and this is the Diamond Factor Experience Show. Yes, I am so happy right now due to the fact that I was not on last Wednesday and Friday. Did anybody notice that? I know I did. I'm looking at Iqbal in the virtual green room. He's like, I was like, oh no. I love the virtual green room. It's kind of cute to say that, and I know it just makes me feel like more of this TV show that I have, which is awesome. So with that, yes, I was. Yes, last week there was 2 days that couldn't pop up. There was some. They were doing some changing and some updates on the TV part of it, technology and all that kind of stuff. So they had to do some updates, but we're back. And I'm just ready for this week, to bring back the experts. Iqbal's here today, and we're going to have the rest of them this weekend, and we're going to have a special guest this Friday. So this week is going to be really jam-packed, but it's going to be so awesome with a lot of awareness that's going to be brought to you and a lot of information. Now, with that said, talking about information, I like to bring up quotes that's going to kind of help you throughout the day. Well, hopefully they help you throughout the day. And this is Monday. So, everybody's always talking about Motivational Monday. Well, you know what? I'm going to change that up a little bit. I want to be a little bit different than the norm. So I'm just going to say it's Momentum Monday. Yes, momentum. So get that momentum, juices flowing, just because it's the beginning of the week. So I always tell people, they're like, it's Monday. I'm trying to wake up. We're not going to go there today. We are here to pump, get ready, get yourself together. Whatever goals you have to set, whatever revamps you have to do, this is that time. You can just do them right now. Get it moving, get it flowing, and just start your week off on the right foot. So I have two quotes today. Yes. First, I have dreams don't work unless you do. Dreams do not work unless you do. And I'm going to add a little caveat to that. Okay, you can dream all day and all night. But if you don't put stuff in action and put it in writing, then it's not going to go nowhere. It's going to keep on being that dream. And I know that each and every one of you out there has so many things that you want to do that you're probably dreaming about. But get out of the dream syndrome, go into the action plan of it, and just do it. So you have to do it. It's just going to stay there. I mean, we have dreams from what? All of our, when we were growing up, we had those dreams, right? But eventually we wanted them to happen. But if in order to get them to happen, you got to put some action to it. I always say put some, moving some feet to it. So dreams don't work unless you do. And then the second one, just to kind of give you a little bit uplift here too, let your faith be bigger than your fears. Let your faith, let your beliefs be bigger than your fears. Because the fears are just, people are fearful of stuff, and I can just attend to myself. That's just wasted energy on something that you should be moving forward and even more so. So the fears are there for a reason, because it's probably telling you that you need to do it, but it's just, it's just like, okay, I'm not used to something different. I got to get out of that little momentum, that little outside the box type of thing. So let those fears push you to faith and belief. Okay. So what you want to do, don't let those dreams be dreams no more. Put some action to it, and then let those fears push you and be faith in it and believe in it. Okay. With that said, before we bring on our awesome, tremendous, amazing expert, Iqbal Acha, we got to go to sponsors. So with that said, I'm going to go to a sponsor, and then right after that, we will go into our expert. Here you go.
I'm hanging on your every word, the love inside, I feel it burn. I've never felt this way before. I've had a taste, now I want more. So here we are, just you and me. I'm overwhelmed when you touch me. You talk so sweet, I hear the sound, 'cause when you do, my feet won't touch the ground.
I love that music. Just to me, I like I keep telling people, if that doesn't get you going in the morning, I don't know what will. So with that said, we are going straight to our sponsor here. I mean, excuse me, not our sponsor. We already had that. To our expert, Mr. Iqbal Acha. And you know we got to play his lead in. And then after that, you will be seeing him. Here we go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, or as Barbara just said, Momentum Monday. My name is Iqbal. I'm excited to be with you this morning, and there's so much for us to share. But I always want to start off, just like Barbara does, with a quote. And I'm going to start off with somebody that I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with. If you ever went to grammar school here or anywhere in the world, this guy's been talked about. The quote starts off with, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulder of giants." Anyone know who said that? Well, if you guessed Sir Isaac Newton, you would be correct. Sir Isaac Newton, one of the greatest scientists and astronomers the world has ever known, came up with that quote. Now, whether you love him because he discovered gravity or you hate him because he invented calculus, his statement rings true and full of humility. Because no matter how good we are on our own, no matter how smart we become individually, we only succeed through the help of others. When I think about my personal life, I am very grateful for the people who invested their time and their energy into developing me. Right? I think about my mom who taught me manners. I think about my dad who taught me discipline and respect. I think about all the teachers that educated me on a variety of subjects. I think about my religious leaders who enlightened me and so many other people that added of themselves and took the time to create my personal being into and developing me into who I am today. Now, could I have learned all of these things by myself? Yes. The truth is, it's possible that I could have learned to discipline and respect and education and enlightenment all by myself. But the fact is that it would have taken me much longer to do it. It would have been much harder, and very likely, I probably would not be, and I would not have come as far as I have today had it not been for other people. So we understand personally how much we rely on others to enrich our very selves. But for some reason, when it comes to our professional lives, we tend to take a different approach. Because when it comes to the subject of advancing our careers, we tend to focus really on ourselves. We focus on our achievements, our degrees or certifications, our knowledge base, our participation or involvement with other organizations. It becomes so grossly obsessed with who we are and what we do that we fail to realize that we are living in our own little bubble and that we have a very limited reach in the big world and the big universe that we live in, which of course is then limiting to our own career path. So, if we recognize that in our personal lives, we need people to enrich us, to invest in us, to help us grow, we must also then accept the reality that in our professional lives, we need other people. And in fact, today's episode is going to be focusing on who to find and who to help add to your career advancement team, because different people that you bring and very, very selectively invite into your career advancement team will help guide you. They will help you avoid mistakes. They will expose you to new ideas and opportunities, and they will provide you the tools, techniques, and tips to help you succeed. We are going to answer all of these questions today on this episode. Now, for those of you just joining in, good morning. My name is Iqbal Acha. I'm a personal brand expert, a career consultant, and a leadership coach. For the past 20 years, I've been helping Fortune 500 companies, small businesses, and nonprofits attract new audiences, hire talented people, and develop a new generation of leaders. Today, I help professionals, executives, and students advance their career, build a better brand, and create a leadership legacy. I'm really glad you're with us today. So, I mentioned earlier a career advancement team, right? And when I say that, I think a lot of you may be a little perplexed. Why do I need a team? This is really just a person that can help me open up a new door. Just need one guy or one girl, somebody that I admire that can really help me launch my career. And let me just tell you that in that mindset, you know that a team is what makes the dream work, right? We've heard this before. You have to be interconnected with a large number of people, but rely on a small handful of people to help you move forward in life, work, love, career, everything. Now, if you choose to have a career advancement team, recognize that that will involve several people because every individual will bring their own set of skills, knowledge, and abilities to the table. And it's not enough to have one person do it because while they are valuable in their right, they're not going to be able to do everything for you. I'll give you a great example. I'm a small business owner and an entrepreneur, like I'm sure some of you are watching this show today. And as the CEO and principal of ATCHA International Consulting, I rely on several key members to help me excel in my business. I have an accountant to help me with my taxes. I have a lawyer to help me navigate the legal aspects of how to start, operate, and stay in the good side of the law. And I have a business developer that helps me find new clients as well. All of them provide different knowledge, different skills, different abilities, and they all give me insights and guidance from different perspectives that help me open new doors of opportunity and provide my services and products to people that can really help advance their career. So let's talk about your career advancement team. Who should you have on your team? Well, the thing that is that you really need to have three essential categories of people. Now, why am I saying categories? Because when I talk about these categories or buckets, I don't mean that you should only have one in each bucket. I want you to be able to see your career advancement team as an opportunity to add multiple people into each of these buckets, but utilizing them for different purposes. So many of you, I'm sure, have heard over and over again that you need to have a career mentor. And that's very true. You do need to have a career mentor, but you also need to have, so we've talked about career mentor, you also need to have a career sponsor. And importantly, you also need to have a career coach or a career consultant. I'm going to break down all three of these for you so that you have a better understanding of why are there so many different categories of career advancement team members and what does this even look like. So let's talk about the most obvious one, which is the career mentor. Now, when you're looking for a career mentor, understand that a mentor is somebody that has probably already been in your shoes. This is someone that you admire, that you aspire to become. Maybe it's their journey that they've taken that has allowed them to become the success that you see today. Maybe it's a conversation or something that they did on TV, on the laptop, or on a webinar, or in person that you were very impressed with, and you told yourself, I want to be like her, or I want to be like him. These are people that we admire, that we respect, and that we hope to emulate someday, but we're not quite sure what that looks like. And more importantly, we want to be able to receive feedback in the communications that we're going to have. So a career mentor is somebody that, number one, you build a solid relationship with. They should be invested in helping develop you, in understanding who you are, both as a professional and as a person, because these two will meld together and it will reflect the character of the person you are. But they should be interested in trying to develop you in both areas. And they should also be very dedicated to listening to your individual situations, providing insights, and then helping you understand, identify, and create a strategy to move forward in that direction. A career mentor is critical for anyone, whether you're a student, an established or aspiring professional. Even executives today have mentors because as they continue to climb the corporate ladder or continue to develop their business, mentors are people that can see things from a different perspective and add value to you as you start to strive for that. That's category one, career mentor. And we're going to talk about how to find all of these individuals as well, and how to develop relationships. But a relationship with a career mentor is critical. Category number two is a career sponsor. What is a career sponsor, you ask? Well, I think it's probably one of the most underutilized, undervalued career advancement team members on your team. A career sponsor is typically somebody who is 2 or 3 levels above you, has been in that organization that you also belong to for multiple years, as an established reputation, a strong leader who recognizes value and quality within their organization and tries actively to help you as their sponsoree to move forward in their career. A career sponsor is somebody, essentially, is somebody who is part of the decision making process when interviews are conducted, when decisions are made, when projects are created and members are sought. This individual will speak on your behalf behind closed doors and will push, promote, and positively propel you forward without you ever knowing. How can you develop that relationship with a career sponsor? We're going to discuss that next. But again, the third, so we've talked about 2 categories, right? A career mentor, somebody that you develop a relationship with, somebody that you admire, somebody that you hope to become someday, and that will, in the conversation and the relationship that you develop with them, will guide you, listen to you, and also provide you insights and help you design the strategy. Number two is a career sponsor, somebody that is already at 2, 3 levels higher than you, is actually at the table when decisions are made about promotions, selecting individuals for projects, or special opportunities to showcase your skill sets, and then speaks on your behalf to the decision maker and promotes you. The third individual is to have a career coach or a career consultant. Now, there's a lot of hesitation from people that I've met along the way about, I don't really need a career consultant. I'm good at I can design all of my own tools and my techniques, and I'm fine. And if I need somebody, I can reach out to a mentor. Well, yes, you can, but the effectiveness of a career coach or a career consultant is oftentimes 10 times better than a career mentor and a career sponsor. Now, why am I saying that? Is because a career coach or a career consultant has typically expertise in human resources and talent acquisitions or talent development and talent insights. I myself have had 15 years of experience in talent acquisition and talent development, and in Fortune 500 companies. And because of that, I am now able to bring my knowledge and skill sets and offer them to clients in a way that helps them navigate the application process, the interview process, the onboarding process, and the development process. A career mentor and a career sponsor may or may not be in the organization. Well, let me rephrase that. A career mentor may not be working for the same organization as you are. So they may be able to provide insights about how to develop yourself as a professional, but maybe not within that specific company. A career sponsor may be able to speak for you on your behalf behind closed doors, but will not be able to provide you an amazing resume or prepare you as best as possible for the right way to answer interview questions or what questions to ask back. That is where a career coach and a career consultant come in. Because over the years of working with clients and helping them promote, a career coach and a career consultant knows how to package the best skills and the best qualities that you have, reflect on your achievements and your accomplishments, and place it in a way, both verbally and physically or visually, in front of the interviewer or the hiring manager or the recruiter to make you appear as the best candidate for the job. So we've talked about 3 categories, right? Career sponsor, career mentor, career coach, or consultant. Now, the next question is, how do you even find people in these categories? So let's talk about the first category, right? Career mentor. A career mentor is somebody that you can find through your interactions with other people. Mostly it can come from within the organization that you work with. Now, when I think of a career mentor, I typically often think of somebody that is maybe one or two levels above, but not directly above you. So, for example, if you are a brand new associate or you are working at an entry level position, your boss may be a manager and her boss may be a senior manager. Now, working with your boss or your senior manager, your manager or your senior manager is probably a given, right? And they're going to want to help develop you too, but within a certain slice of that department's perspective. Going over to a different department, going over to a different division, looking for other people that are at that level in a different company, or perhaps in a different organization with the same background as you, is ways to find a good career mentor. Now, I'm sure that most of you watch TED Talks, or maybe you belong to a professional organization and you've either read an article from somebody that's an established person in that industry, or you've gone to a state association meeting, maybe even attended a national meeting. There's a variety of ways that you receive information about your industry, about your niche, and about your specific topic. But there's always a few people that you will find that are very vocal and very knowledgeable about what is happening in your industry. You can also, and this is also very important for those of you that are on social media, go to LinkedIn. You will find a lot of people that are speaking very evocatively and intelligently on subjects that are causing everyone to be reflective on where they are today in their current positions and how to advance themselves and their organizations. Those are people that you can say, wow, I really love what she's saying, or I understand what he means. This is somebody that I can really resonate with. If you feel that chemistry in your head when you see somebody on a YouTube video, or you read a post on LinkedIn, or you read an article, that could be your next career mentor. Again, inside your organization, I'm sure they have weekly or monthly meetings with senior leaders or individuals that they bring on board. And there are also multiple employee resource groups and associate resource groups as well, where you can find managers, senior managers, directors that really catch your ear and your eye. Those are the types of people that you can say to yourself, I want to be like him, or I want to be like her. And if you do, and when you find them, don't be afraid to reach out. If you work for a company that you say, hey, these are the individuals that I've seen and I would really like to aspire to their level, automatically use your internal email and send them a simple email request. Hello, a subject line can be like mentorship, or requesting a mentor. And a very simple email such as, hello, John, my name is Iqbal. I saw you speak this morning at our monthly meeting, and I thought you were just an amazing speaker. I loved what you had to say, and I would really appreciate 15 minutes of your time. I am looking for a mentor, and I would love to see if you would be open to that. Very simple, very basic. 9 out of 10 times, especially within the same organization that you're working with, they're going to take the opportunity and at least meet with you for 15 minutes, talk to you, understand what your background is, what your experiences are, what you aspire to become. And then they can say, yeah, this is somebody that I really want to have as a mentee. Now, outside the organization, if you see somebody that you think would be an outstanding mentor for you, same story. Don't be hesitant. Don't be afraid. Like Barbara said, you got to get out of that dream zone, right? You got to move forward and take action. So how can you take action? Well, 700 million people are on LinkedIn, and very likely so is that individual that you hope to aspire to become someday. Find them on LinkedIn or Twitter or even Instagram in some cases. Most people will tend to focus and resonate mostly on LinkedIn and Twitter for business. So if you find them on those social media profiles, invite them to connect. Same story. Say, let them know, hey, I saw you speak this morning or yesterday at our monthly meeting, and I think that you did an outstanding job. I really love the topics that you talked about, and I'm looking for a mentor. I'd love to connect with you and see if maybe we can talk. And I think that that's a fantastic way to build a mentorship. Now, to nurture a mentor-mentee relationship, that's a little bit different. You have to make sure that there's a scheduled amount of time, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, and have an agenda. Know what it is that you want to ask. Well, first and foremost, when you have an established meeting with your mentor, it's your job to put it together. it's your job to share with that person what's happened since the last time you spoke, achievements, accomplishments, concerns. And then it's your job to ask questions from the mentor. Now, the mentor has a responsibility as well, right? To honor the commitment of the time that she or he said that they were going to meet with you. But they will also ask you questions. They will also want to know what's happened, but they will also provide you valuable insights and talk to you about mistakes that they made when they were in your shoes and how to avoid them. And they will help you craft and create a narrative and a persona of how to respond to the issues that you're dealing with. So in my case, I at least have 3 mentors today. And I encourage you to have as many mentors as you believe is possible to manage at least a once a week call. Whether it's once a week with one mentor and then the next week another mentor and then another week a third mentor, that's great. I would not recommend more than 5 mentors at a time because then you'll just be spending all of your time in meetings and not doing the work. So that is a career mentor. Now, a career sponsor. How do you find a career sponsor? A career sponsor is typically, and almost 99% of the time, someone who works within the same organization as you. It's very difficult to find a cheerleader outside of your organization that is going to promote you unless you already have a personal relationship with them. That's why I say 90% of the time, it's probably going to be working within the same organization. And the same rule applies. Maybe this individual is somebody that you saw speak at a monthly meeting or a weekly meeting. Maybe you had the opportunity to showcase your skill sets because your supervisor talked to them about how great you are at SQL or how great you are at Pivot or PowerPoint or something of that nature, right? A lot of individuals, especially in businesses today, will want to help themselves and their teams look good by sharing and showcasing the best talent that they have. When those opportunities arise, and hopefully your manager is sharing those bits of information with you, seize the day. Carpe diem. You got to make sure that you reach out to those sponsors and say, hey, I would love to talk to you about this. And in the development of a relationship, when they see the skill sets that you have, they will then also speak for you on your behalf. I have one last category, and that's career coaches and career consultants. Again, I know that we are short on time, but I always like to tell people having a career coach and a career consultant is critical for 3 reasons. Number one, they help you design the tools that you need. So a resume, a CV, a cover letter, interview preparation, LinkedIn profile. These are tools that you need to be able to showcase yourself as an optimal candidate. And while you think you may be great at some things, it's hard for anyone, including myself, to take a stock of what I'm good at and put it out there. That's where a consultant and a coach comes in because we take your skill sets and we frame it in a way that anyone can read it, see it, hear it, and absorb it. The second thing that a career coach and a career consultant can do is help you see things from a different perspective. So maybe you have your eyes set on being the next manager or the director or the senior director, but only in this avenue. Well, you already have a degree in this space or 15 years of experience in this industry. Did you ever consider moving out of this role and moving into that role? That's where a career consultant can expose you to all of these things. If you're looking for a career coach or a career consultant, you can absolutely Google them, find lots of them on LinkedIn. I would be more than happy to connect with you and answer any questions you have as well. But again, I hope these were insights that you found valuable. My name is Iqbal, and until the next time, I'm wishing you nothing but success. Barbara? Barbara, you're on mute.
That's the mute. I wouldn't be Barbara if it wasn't muted first, right? No, I was saying that thank you so much, Iqbal, for always your insights on Monday mornings. I always look forward to listening to you. And you are so right about having those mentors and those, people guidance consultants to help you along the way. Because till this day, I still have my mentor that, it's been like over 20 years that when I first started in insurance. So, and they're still there and they still give me that wisdom and those tips to move forward in what I do. So yeah, it's really important. So thank you for sharing that. And also I want to offer, consult this because I know you lost a family member over weekends and you still came here today to do your segment. So I'm so honored and thank you. And I'm praying for you and your family.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I know everyone's had a very hard year. And, being here adds value to me because I understand that I have a responsibility to your viewers, and it fills me with joy to be able to give back to the world that's helped shape me to who I am today. Thank you for your condolences. I really appreciate that. A lot of people have asked if this was COVID related, and sadly, it was. So if you're
Um,
still unsure, please just wear a mask. If nothing else, just wear a mask. But on the flip
yes.
side, before I go, I have one last thing, and that is happy news. Yesterday, I also announced that I am a grandfather. So my daughter had a healthy baby boy on Friday night, late Friday night. And my stepdaughter had twins a month before that. So this has been a bumper crop year of grandbabies.
Twins. Wow.
Yeah.
You are going to
Yeah.
be busy. That's all I have to say.
Barbara, if I had hair at this
Congratulations.
point,
Well, you know what? They are so blessed because they have an awesome grandfather.
you're so
Awesome.
sweet. Thank you, Barbara. See you
Thank
next
you.
week.
Well, I'll see you next Monday. You take care.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye. Oh, wow. It was a granddad. Isn't that awesome? Okay, we are going to move right into it here. I told you we're moving and grooving. So before we do that, we always have to do, we're going to go to our next specialist, and that is Mr. Harlan McMath. And then before we go there, we have to go to our sponsors. You know, we got to give our sponsors some time. So here we go. I always love the music. I don't care what it does. I just love that music. Okay. Oh, they just cued me. I got one more. Here we go. Okay, so now we're going to bring up our specialists of law enforcement and just talking about different things regarding laws and everything. I love this part of it. And we're going to bring in, let's see, I think he's on mute. He's off mute. Hello, Mr. McMath.
Hello, Barbara. How are you today?
Oh, I can hear you loud and clear this time. I know a few weeks ago it was like all kind of, ugh. So I'm hearing you loud and clear. You must be in a good spot. Hey, you gotta, don't even go there.
So laughter's good for the soul. That's a good thing to laugh on Monday morning.
Yes, it is. And I started today, if you weren't listening to me earlier, I was talking about this Momentum Monday. So we're moving and grooving. We're moving and grooving. So with that, Mr. McMahon, what do you have for us today? I know the topic is going to be a little bit interesting here. So I'm ready to go with it.
It's called Unjust Laws.
Unjust laws. Okay. Oh boy.
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay. So say you have a light bulb out or tail light out on your car and the cop pulls you over. You know you weren't speeding. You know you didn't run a stop sign. You know you didn't run a red light. Usually when a cop get behind a person, it's normal for a person to be a little nervous, like, what did I do? What did I do? What's going on? So as the cop walks up to the car, you reach over in your glove box to get the information to your car, be your insurance card, your vehicle registration, and ownership of your vehicle. So while he's walking up, he can automatically say, I have reasonable doubt, meaning this character is acting suspicious. But when you're taught in driver's ed is when the cop pull you over. When they get there, have your driver license, insurance card, and vehicle registration ready to give to them. But by him seeing you move to your glove box, he may assume you're getting a weapon or anything. So now he's taught if they move in the car before you get there, that's reasonable doubt, meaning they can search your car, they can take you out the car and put handcuffs on you temporarily while they search your car. They don't have to have a warrant to search your car. All they got to say is, I felt that they were acting suspicious. That's an unjust law because sometimes you may have a sneeze coming on and a cop pull you over and you sneeze. He may say, well, they were doing drugs because they sneezed and now they want to search your car for drugs. Another one is when they issue a warrant to go in someone's house. They have what they call the knock knock and then we bust in, which we all know nationwide what happened to Breonna Taylor. They had a warrant, but the guy they wanted was already locked up, but nobody bothered to check to see if he still lived at that address. And then they did it at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Yes, I have weapons in my house. If I'm asleep and someone breaks down my door at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm not going to hesitate to defend my family. Most men won't hesitate to defend their family. What the procedure is they say, well, that person used to live here. Okay, but when you print up that warrant, it should be some way for them to check to see who's at that resident now. So it's like, say if you have a family member and they've been in trouble their whole life in the law, and at one time when they got out, they stayed with you for 3 or 4 months. So they may pull up that name, and being that address is the first address in alphabetical order, that address may come up and they say, we're going to issue this on a warrant. Now, you hadn't seen your cousin in 2 or 3 years, but now the cops kick in your door. What are you supposed to do? And then on top of that, they're not going to have nobody posted there to stop people from coming into your house stealing items because now your door is kicked off the hinge. They're going to say, we're sorry, but we had a warrant. That's an unjust law. But they're not doing anything to change it because usually when an unjust law is issued, it's supposed to be issued on a wanted criminal. But then another way they've misused that law is you may have got a parking ticket and you put it in your glove box and it's during the holiday season and you forgot about the parking ticket. You don't show up for court. Now all of a sudden you got a warrant for your arrest for failure to show. So you get stopped by the cops, simple traffic stop, and all they see is warrant for failure to show. And then they get over aggressive. Get out the car, get out the car, get out the car. And people are looking at the cop like, what did I do? What did I do? And then next thing you know, your window's broken. They're trying to pull you out the car and your seatbelt is still on. And then it's like, well, you didn't show up for court. So you did all this to me for a parking ticket, which is usually anywhere from $25 to $100. Court fee, probably $125. And these things are things that the parties to be don't want to change, and the parties that's coming into office do want to change. So that's why the parties that are in control now would say, if you don't agree with me, you're a radical. Okay, because I don't agree with the fact that you think it's okay to bust into my house with a warrant for a person who hadn't lived there for over 5 years, that I'm a radical. No, I don't want my door kicked in where I still have to go to work the next day, but I don't have a secure door on my house. But you telling me, oh, we're sorry, it was just a mistake. Was it really just a mistake, or were you trying to install fear into the community? That's one of the unjust laws. Another unjust law is you can be jogging, have your earbuds in, and the police can tell you to stop because you look like someone. And you don't hear them, and they just pull out their gun and shoot you in the back. But then they say, well, he fit the description of the individual who just robbed the store 6 blocks over. Okay, but if they give a vague description, a tall black man with a black jersey on and gym shoes, that's 89% of the brothers who not at work at the time. Because usually if you're not at work, you're working in your yard. Or for me, I'm working on my car or cleaning my car. Or I may just go walking because I enjoy walking. So if I'm walking and I got my headsets on or my earbuds and a cop go past me and turn around and don't pull in front of me, but pulls up behind me and jump out the car, but there's no sirens on. So I'm listening to my music and I'm getting my jog going on my walk. And I don't hear him telling me to stop. And he shoots me, but you see both my hands, they're not in my pocket. You get away with saying, well, I feel threatened. Well, how are you threatened? I'm walking away from you. I have headbuds on. Yeah, I fit the description of a black man because I am a black man. And I may have on a dark hoodie and gym shoes because I'm out walking or jogging. But these are unjust laws that need to be clarified. But on the other hand, when it happens to others of lighter skin tone, example, the guy who shot up the movie theater when the last Batman popular movie came out. When they went to arrest him, he had bombs in his house, he had threats in his house, and he told the police he wasn't going to go peacefully. They negotiated with this guy who's already been known to kill at least 17 people in the movie theater. And he had bombs in his car and AK-47s and Uzi machine guns and like 4,000 rounds to each one of them weapons in his car. But they negotiated with this guy for 16 hours and took him without one shot fired. Why is that not across the board? Which is another unjust law. Depends on who you're talking to, we're going to get a negotiator. But if you do a simple traffic stop and the person say, well, I haven't done nothing wrong, I don't want to get out my car. Now you go to the maximum force of force level, which is busting your window, snatching you out the car, and if you move, I'm going to shoot you. Unjust law. Just because I look like someone, you don't have a right to shoot me or use hostile force on me. You need to approach me and say, sir. And this has happened to me one time. I was out at night. It was during the wintertime, and I was out jogging. And something happened at the store around the corner from my house. I didn't know. So as I'm jogging, I see a police car fly by. And then the next thing I know, a police car pulls in front of me. And it's a cop behind me on a bike yelling at me. So I take my hoodie off. And it was just fortunate. One of the cops that stopped me was a officer that used to work in South Carolina with me in law enforcement. So when I took my hoodie off, he said, oh, this ain't the guy. He's a police officer. They said, well, why didn't he stop? He said, look, he got earbuds in and he probably was just out jogging because he's also on the rep team in South Carolina. But it could have got nasty. If that cop didn't know me, that pulled in front to let me know that the police wanted my attention, it could have got real nasty.
So
Because I look like someone that did something that I didn't do. Again, unjust law. The law should be, that cop did right. They said, we got a guy going this way. We need somebody to get in front of them. So once he pulled in front of me, I automatically stopped and put my hands up because I'm not trying to get shot. But if he never would have pulled in front of me, who's to say that cop on the bike wouldn't have shot me or tasered me and I would have fell and broke a bone or something or even
well,
died?
yeah,
So it's just weird how these laws are still on the books, but they never been modified and the cops can use them any way they want to.
well, that's the thing. That's what I was going to say. I know you said it's an unjust law, but the thing is, they're using it to go against different minorities to make it more injustice, which is unfortunate. So I think,
Right,
like you always said before, is if we got to continue to vote and bring in the right people in the right spots regarding all levels, regarding city, state, and federal. I think we did.
right,
We started off, as I want to say, on the president end, and going downward. I think once we still got to keep moving though. That's just not it. A lot of people like, okay, we got president, things are going to move forward and stuff. But there's a lot of other, like we got the Senate, so we got a lot of things that we still have to look at who we're bringing into office to make sure that those unjust laws doesn't continue in our
Well,
cities.
the good thing about the city I currently reside in, the black marshal, the black sheriff, uh, neighboring county sheriffs and marshals, they have meetings once a month. And if one of their deputies get out of line, there's been several deputies locked up in my city and stripped of their power because they decided to abuse the law. And my county, Columbia County, Aiken County, Edgefield County, which is counties that neighbor my county, those leaders are not putting up with the stuff that's been going on. So that's one thing I can say about voting locally. We voted these people in and we told them this is what we expect and this is what they're doing. And since these people been in, our crime rate has dropped because cops are doing what they're supposed to do. They're not out here agitating the neighborhoods or stirring up the people or trying to do what they think is right because that's how they feel. They have to follow the law. There have been deputies locked up for planting evidence on people, and those people got out and got compensated for being locked up. There have been deputies locked up for attacking people because they didn't like them or because I don't want to use the term racist because that is harsh, but because that person did something that reminded them of somebody they didn't like. So they took it out on that person. So down here, by voting locally and keeping up with the law and educating yourself about the law, we can make a difference as a people. And like you said, we voted, but now we got to do the Senate vote for the state of Georgia. And it's like the whole world is watching the state of Georgia. But the point is, the powers that just got in office want to change the Right to Vote Act to the law for all blacks born in America. I was born in America. I serve this nation, and it's a great nation. But they still have to vote every 10 to 15 years the right to allow me to vote. And how could that be when I was born here? But someone can come over here and become a citizen, and they have a right to vote. Just things about, and that's an unjust law. That's one of the biggest unjust laws in my eye. You still voting every 15 years to give me a right to vote. And I believe the only reason they're giving us the right to vote is because if you don't have a right to vote, you can't carry firearms. Meaning, if you say the black man can't vote, that's almost 1/3 of your military you have to put out because they can't carry firearms. And then that's 1/3 of your law enforcement you got to get rid of because they can't carry firearms. 1/3 of the correctional officers and jailers you got to get rid of because they can't carry arms. So this is probably why they keep saying, oh, we got to give them a right to vote. So it needs to be our right to vote and not an active right to vote.
Yeah. Well,
So it's
I know
amazing.
it's amazing how, those laws are still put in that we have to deal with and fight for. But we always got to go on the positive. We got to flip it sometime and say it's going to get better. We just got to do our due diligence and keep moving, keep voting, and keep getting the people in that we need to put in so we can get
Well,
those changes
comes
done.
come January the 20th, 12 noon, it will start to get better.
Yeah, yeah. So with that, with our time here,
And that's
this
one
will
of the laws I'm looking forward to them enforcing is that your time is up, you have to leave.
okay. So moving forward, since our time is up, specialist law enforcement person, Mr. Harlan, we will definitely see you next Monday. I'm not. You're going to tell us the topic. You're going to surprise us,
I'm going to
but it's
continue on
always
ingest laws. I will have some more for you, but I started off small so people can grasp what I'm talking about. So that was my thing because everybody's been stopped by a cop for a traffic violation, or everyone's been questioned because they're walking somewhere and they look like someone else.
okay.
So those are the two that people know. So I will bring up some more next week. I will continue this segment next week.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mr. McMahon. We will see you next Monday and enjoy Momentum Monday today.
And you do too, and keep smiling.
Thank you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We have our specialists and our experts every day starting a good Monday. So I thank Mr. McMath. I always love when he brings, he brings information that's really needed for us to think about. And I know with unjust laws, it's kind of, one of those going around thing right now. It's even more unjust. unfortunately. But like I said, this show is to bring awareness, not so much to argue the facts, but just to bring them to you. And it's up to you to decide, which way to go and how you want to deal with it. And that's what I love to do, is just to bring that information to people, because a lot of times people don't know. If you don't know, you can't do different things, or you can't make decisions on different things. But when you know something, that's where you can get that upper hand to say to yourself, you know what? Now that I know that, maybe I need to do something about it, or maybe I need to think something different than before. So with that said, the show is up today, but we will be back on Wednesday. Can't wait. Like I said, it's going to be a full pack week of a lot of things going on the Diamond Factor Experience show with Barbara Beckley. And that said, like I said, dreams don't work unless you do. Dreams don't work unless you do. So keep putting feet to those dreams, feet to those goals, and move forward, because you have, what I always say, a diamond in you, and let that shine for others. See you on Wednesday.